My name is Karen Lincoln Michel. I graduated with the class of 1976. I've been a journalist most of my adult life, but I didn't always start off wanting to be a journalist. Originally, I wanted to be a graphic artist or a graphic designer. So after I left Tomah High School, I went to the University of Wisconsin-Stout and majored in graphic arts management. My first job out of college was on the Winnebago Indian Reservation in Nebraska. I taught graphic arts courses and I ran a student print shop. My students were doing jobs, print jobs for the community. And one of the clients was the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska. And at the time, they were doing some really innovative things. So my students got to find out what those were. But I noticed that when I went out into the community and talked to people, there was a lot of misinformation about what the tribe was actually doing. And I thought to myself, it would be really great if someone started a newspaper or a radio station on the reservation to improve communications. I mentioned this to my boss at the time, and he told me about a conference that was coming up in New Mexico, and it was the American Indian Media Conference, and it was going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I went, and that really changed the course of my life, my career. There I saw Native Americans for the first time in media. I met some people who were on the reservation and covering their own communities. There were people who were writing for newspapers, daily newspapers, people who were in broadcast media. And it just really opened my eyes to the fact that Native Americans can be in journalism. So I went back to school and I got my master's degree from Marquette University. I eventually became part owner of a Native American-owned newspaper in northern Wisconsin. I worked in newspapers for many years. And it was just really fulfilling because I got a chance to cover communities like my own that don't usually get covered and are largely ignored by mainstream society. So it's been a really fulfilling career. You asked about some of the attributes that have helped me. I would have to say there are two things. One of them being the fact that I'm a Native American. I'm a member of the Ho-Chunk Nation. And through that, I have had values and teachings that were instilled in me from my parents and my extended family. And those are foundational things that really have helped guide me. The other thing I would have to say is just growing up in Tomah and the strong Midwestern values that all of us that have grown up here have been exposed to. And those are things like being a hard worker, this strong work ethic, just honesty, being good to people, being a good neighbor. Those kinds of things have really helped me throughout my entire career. So I would say those two things are very important to me. And if I could just say that I really am honored to be a recipient of the first class of the Distinguished Alumni Award. I just really treasure that. And I'd like to say thank you to my friend Elaine Reichart, who nominated me, and to the selection committee for selecting me. It's just really a privilege.